wasn't for Michelle, she's the one that kind of lit the fire in me, and then Ryan as well, he did well, and then Teresa as well. I had a really good therapist on the inside. When you go through something like this, you really need people to help you, be there for you. And fortunately for me, for a bad situation, it could not have gone any better. I don't like brain abscess. I'm pretty sure all of y'all can agree. Y'all don't like what you went through. But hopefully you had a similar thing where you had good family, good friends, and good people like Michelle and Ryan and Teresa to be there for you. So I tried to get back. I don't know how y'all are, but I was hoping, I didn't really understand what my doctors were saying. So I thought I was gonna get everything back in 6 months to a year. And I got to 6 months and I was talking to my boss and I'm like, I'm gonna be back. And then I got to 6 months, I couldn't quite get back. And then I hired a RN nurse. She helped me cook for my boss. I was a private chef at the time. And then we hired a sous chef and I kind of directed the sous chef. And then I was able to assist a little bit, but we eventually ran into things I couldn't do, like open a can, there was a lot of things I couldn't do. And eventually she had to move on. She went other places. And so I had to, figure out how to get on disability so I could have something. And I was able to do that. But after that, I was like, how do I still do what I love to do? So I thought about doing videos. I was like, at first it was for me, to do my own personal videos. And people started going, man, that's really inspiring. Regular people are just like, oh my God, I can't even do that with 2 hands. And it just kind of grew. And I've made 40 videos, I think. And so it's been a little fun, doing them. I enjoy it, and it's kind of filled I can't do what I used to do, but I can still at least cook for people. I do cook for 3 families on the side, under the table. The government doesn't know, but if they do, I tell people that I get paid in charity, so that'll be my excuse if the IRS comes for me. So I still am able to do that, and I get enjoyment out of that, and it fills my week, and it gives me something to do. I've also recently just started doing a podcast as well. So I have things that fill my day. Am I making the same amount of money I was before? Not the least. But I have something coming in, I'm not worried about it, and I'm able to do stuff like this. This really, cooking for people like you, has really fulfilled me in a way I never thought that I'd be fulfilled. So today, we are going to make guacamole. We were trying to think of something easy and simple with no heat, and figured summertime guacamole, a good thing to try. So I'm gonna go over a few of my equipment. So a bowl, so we have in one hand, everything has to be a little bit different. There's really not that much difference, but getting a bowl with a sticky grip on the bottom or putting it on a towel, something that can hold it in place while you use it, that helps a lot too. I use crimpers when I do dumplings or empanadas, and that way I can still do stuff like that. Can opener, I do a ratchet can opener. You can get an electric one, but I don't like electric. I like mechanical things like this, so you don't have to worry about batteries. I mean, if it doesn't work, it's because of teeth, and you just buy another one. These things last, come on, when's the last time you bought a can opener? Once in your life, maybe twice, because they're like, you can't find it, then you find it, and you're like, oh my God. So my first boss, she was alive. She kept me on the payroll for a year and a half after my incident. She was truly an angel, and helped me get on disability by firing me on paper. And so one day I was at her house and I asked to open up a can. She could open up a can for me, and she's like, this isn't gonna work. And so she went, and she wasn't doing it mean. She was just saying, we need to figure out something. And she got me this, and it's been one of the most useful tools that I've used. So all you do is hook it with one hand, and then it just ratchets once it clicks on. It is so cool. The best thing for me, I was right-handed, but having left-handed scissors, I spent $30 on these, which is, for kitchen shears is not too much. But this totally changed my life, because trying to open up stuff with your teeth, you know, or you sit here and you try to pop it and the bottom pops open and the chips fall to the floor. Either way, you know, it's always a nightmare. But with scissors, you know, I was able to like just, you know, come in here very easily and just cut it open. And a lot of people, you know, ask me, what was it like to be left-handed? When you're a cook, you're taught to use both hands. One of the first lessons I ever learned as a cook, my chef was like, grab that saute pan. I'm sitting there sauteing with my right hand, and I put that down and I grabbed it. And he's like, no, you need to be able to use both your hands. And so he taught me very early to be kind of ambidextrous, or if you're from around here, amphibious. So if you know Charles Shackelford. But you know, it just really helped me out. So when I became, and being a chef, I think helped me get through what I was getting through, because in our line of work, we're always trying to figure out the problems. You know, how do we do this? Oh, we can't do this, let's do something else. And so this, to me, I just look at something else. I gotta figure out how to work without one hand or utilize it. Now I can grip a little bit, and I can, you know, put my hand on this, and it takes a second, but I'm able to like do that and then twist and open things. And because I got sick, opening up water bottles, especially now with the thin plastic. If I open up in pants, it looks like I peed myself, you know, which I don't mind, you know, because I'm just trying to open up water. It'll dry eventually. But now I can do it a little bit with my hand, and that really does. That was a really big game changer for me in the kitchen. So another thing is this cutting board. So it has suction cups, and normally it has two backs right here, but I took them off because they kind of fall off, and they kept falling off, and they actually kind of get in the way. And they have two nails on them. You can get some with 3, some with rubber bands, and this is another cool thing to help you out. And the thing I love, I mean, you can always use a wet towel or something underneath, but I love the suction cups, because, I mean, this thing is, you know, it's very sturdy, and it holds it very well, which I'm going to show you now. So take an onion, and it just holds it while you cut it. Can you grab one of the plastic bags? Oh, never mind. We got trash. We got a trash can.
Gotcha.
High tech here. Wait. I almost said wait tech. That's where I went to culinary school, wait tech. College for the real world. And you can use this to hold it in place. And when I was inpatient, they had all kinds of different cutting boards. They had the rubber bands, they had the nails. They had some that were like this, but these are expensive. There's a guy, I forget his name, John Falceno. He is with Believe Stroke and Brain Injury Foundation, who I deal with a lot, bless you. And he makes cutting boards for people, and he'll sit there and make you a personal cutting board if you ask him. He is awesome. He's a retired guy, and he's just pretty amazing.
What's his name?
John, I forget his last name. I'll have to look it up I'll have to look up his last name. Well, I'll text it to you. And then while you hold it, we're just going to rough chop this, because we're going to put it in the Cuisinart.
Are there things that you cannot do now that you used to like to do a lot?
Swimming. I went to Vieques last year, which is in Puerto Rico, to visit one of my first chefs, and so many places to snorkel, and I couldn't, you know, because I couldn't really go in the water. And they have black sand beaches and bioluminescent bay, and they could. Next time, we figured out a way to get me to do that. We're going to do that next time I go. It's really the swimming. I can't really run anymore. I can't play volleyball. But I mean, I can still go out with my friends. I can't work out like I used to. That's why I now have a belly, which I'm trying to work on. And I think I might be a vegan here soon enough. I think Dan was talking about that with his wife. we got a jalapeno. And the cool thing with jalapeno, just cut it off the size anyways, because you don't want the seeds. Because the seeds are what really make it hot. So you can cut around it. And there, you just have the seeds and you can just throw that away. Or save it. If you want to grow seeds, you can just germinate them and make your own jalapeno plants if you're into that. And I brought this one because this is just a little smaller version. This is, a lot of people don't have these at home, but if you do, these work great. If you don't have a smaller one, or if you want to do it by hand and just, you can do all this by hand. I didn't bring that one, but I have a slap chop. If you can't mince it like this, there's these things you can buy that just, yeah. And another thing I bought too, a lot of things I would have never had that when I was a chef. And I sharpen my knife. I have chef friends that help me out with that. But I was like, what can I do? And so I found this thing on Amazon, like we all do. And it suction cups to the table. And then you can just pull your knife through it. And that's the thing for me, you know, that's why this has been kind of fun in a way. I mean, it's not fun, but trying to figure out what to do and how to make it work. You know, it's like, all right, I can't do that. Let's figure it out. It's like when we were in the kitchen, you know, I was still in a wheelchair, but they helped me stand to cut the chicken, and I could do it a little bit, but I still had to kind of lean. And a lot of times I would do that. Now I'm a little bit more balanced. I'm still not 100%, but I'm better off than I was. So we're gonna mix that up. Now we'll take the tomato. And this is if you want a tomato. I normally don't do this, but some people like to have a tomato in their guacamole. And now the fun part. So when you're cutting an avocado, you just cut it all the way around. And then you can just squeeze it if it's soft enough. And just squeeze it out.
Do you use garlic in your guacamole?
I don't. Do you?
I do.
You can. It's personal preference. I don't, because that's how I was taught. My buddy from Oaxaca, he didn't make it with guacamole because they didn't have guacamole, or they didn't have garlic. And that's the cool thing I love about cooking too. Meeting all the different people, because it's all walks of life, and to meet all the different people from other countries, from other places, and like, hey man, what did you cook? Let me learn a little bit about where you're from. You know, it could be, you know, Mexico, it could be Europe. I've worked with so many different people. When I graduated culinary school, I went to New York City, and I staged in a couple restaurants. And I met people from Belgium, from Israel, and it just really goes to show you cooking. It just, I don't know, I loved history growing up, and so I really loved cooking because it was a way to get into another culture. Easy, no politics. Let's just talk food. We can talk politics later once we've had a couple beers. Because that's when you have the best conversations, right? When you're all angry. Like, what were we talking about? Anyways, back to the food. But that's another thing too. I've learned a lot of patience. I've learned, which I never really, I still don't kind of have it, but it's a lot better than it used to be. You're kind of forced when you have something like what happened to all of us. You're kind of forced to be that way. And because I had one of my clients, they have little kids and they love mashed potatoes, and that was actually I was like, all right, let me figure out how to do it. And so what I do is I just stick the potato on this. I just take the peeler, I peel it, and then I flip it, peel it again. There's a little skin on it, but you know, skin is good for you. Well, that's where all the nutrients are right around the skin. The reason new potatoes, you don't have to worry about it, but Idaho's, you definitely don't want them.
Aaron,
Yeah.
the cutting board, was that made special for you, or did?
I bought this on Amazon. It was like $43.
Bought it on Amazon with the little suction cups
Mhm.
and the nails.
Mm-hmm. It's like $43, I think.
Okay.
Just to type in assisted. If not, I can find it. But just type in assisted cutting board, and then so many things come up. And another thing I use that was given to me by Katie from Michael at Next Up was the bottle opener. There's this thing. It's like $10, and you screw it in underneath your countertop, and you just slide whatever size jar. It doesn't matter. It can go all the way down to a hot sauce bottle. And you just go in and you twist it, and it opens it up. And depending on how much you have to open it, you can keep twisting it. And it's a $10 piece of equipment. But yeah, just take your time. And if you like to cook, I'll have to say, I really enjoyed cooking for myself more now than I loved it before, but knowing I can do it. Like that time with Michelle, and I forget, who was the other girl's name? Everybody. Who was the other lady that helped us?
Teresa?
No, the
Portia.
Portia.
Oh, yeah. But
I mean, thank you. That was the thing, there's so many different people that you meet. I think there was only one nurse that I had to get removed. And she just, you know, she messed up my she was giving me my PICC line, my antibiotics. And I was like, no, don't do it like that, it's 200 milligrams. She's like, no, it's 100. That'll put you in some sort of, I don't know what she was talking about. I was like, I got therapy in like, you know, half an hour, 45. Because back then, I don't know how you guys are, I wanted my therapy, I wanted it out of my room. I didn't want to be in there. And so I was like, she was messing with my therapy time. And then I forget the head nurse kind of comes, she comes by every so often to talk to you. And she was like, we can move her. And I was like, huh? She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, get her out of here. And she wasn't mean. I felt like, you know, when you have something like that, what happened to me, I didn't at the time, I didn't know how bad or how good everything was. All I knew was I had infection in my brain. And I don't know, I was very nervous. Rightfully so. But anyway, so you cut your limes and your cilantro. Huh?
I said, you don't wanna put your hand in there, you could lose that other hand.
Exactly. Well, that's why they have this design like this. So you have to have both those pieces for it to work. Because like right now, I get it on, it's not coming on. And that's a safety feature for home ones. The ones we have at the restaurant, we have them tilted to the side. You can turn them on. They're running like this because you don't have the time sometimes to deal with it. Because when you're at work, depending on what you're doing, it doesn't really matter. Depends on it doesn't really matter at all. It all comes down to timing. And, if you can save in the kitchen, if you can save 30 minutes, hell, if you can save 30 seconds. Another cool thing, so I got these chargeable salt and pepper shakers and grinders because I wanted to use grinding. So these are like, as a pair, $30 online. And the cool thing about them, you just turn them upside down. And they have a lid, and they're rechargeable because the original ones I got, I had to use batteries, and that was just really way too hard for me to do. And to fill it was hard. This is a lot easier because I can lay it on a towel. Sorry. I can lay it on a towel, open it up. It's okay. It's actually good because I can show you. So you just take that.
Since you lost your other hand, did it qualify you for a second sous chef?
A what? A second chef. They should. They could.
Exactly.
I should get free money, and we should all get like $1 million. Well, and that's the thing too. There's so many things you can do. There's robotic hands. They do a lot with neurosurgeon because being at Next Step, they have a lot of stuff there. So basically, with this towel now, I basically create a pile, and then I just take it and I put it in, and then it's easy to close. And there you go. But it should be like that. But that's the thing, not to sidetrack here, but I learned really quickly in rehab, 30 days is all you have for therapy. And I don't know about y'all, I'm almost 3 years in, I'm still going to therapy every week. And thank God I'm on Medicare now because it's like $10, through my Medicare. So I'm very happy about that. But I don't understand how I know no one here really thinks that because everyone here cares, but it's like 30 days and that's 15 PT and 15 OT. That's not even, I think you get 60 speech. We didn't need 60 speech. I think when I did my home care, I think it was like, I think I did 1 or 2, maybe 3. She was amazing. She was. I mean, those of you that have Michelle, know what I'm talking about. I go a little bit of olive oil just for the shine because, just to help with that.
Is there a better oil to use with guacamole? Avocado oil?
You can, whatever. You want a neutral oil. You don't want extra virgin. This is an olive oil blend, so it's not a lot of flavor and it's very mild. Yeah, you want something kind of neutral. Extra virgin olive oil is a finishing oil. It's for finishing things, or to add a little flavor to your salads. People try to cook with it, and it has a very low smoke point. Yeah. Are you a chef?
I'm not a chef, I'm a cook. I don't have.
It sounds like a good one.
I
As
don't
I yell,
have
sorry.
a chef.
All right, then you can taste it. You want to try?
Get there.
What do you think? More lime?
A lot of pressure.
More salt? These are salty, so.
Oh, it's good.
So
What do you think?
I'll go a little more lime. but I like lime. I did one of these a few weeks ago at the Wake Forest Senior Center, and we were making pico though, and I had everything but limes. I was like, oh my God. And so I made sure I brought limes this time. Then this time, I forgot all my stuff I wanted to show y'all. And there you have it, guacamole. You're gonna stop.